we have got to talk about the dramatic episode of Bachelor in Paradise with the Rodney, Eliza, and Justin love triangle and the Genevieve and Aaron of it all. She was ready to leave the beach. Let's break it all down today. So welcome back to our channel, guys. How are we all doing? Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe before we get into the breakdown. As always, I'm your host and Bachelor expert, Zachary Reality, and we are getting so close to the finale of Bachelor in Paradise. It's just a couple weeks away, so we've got to talk about what is still going on the beach, because there is still a lot of drama and a crazy love triangle. And I want to start off with the Rodney, Eliza, and Justin love triangle specifically because Eliza ended up deciding to go on the date with Justin. We all know he came back after he was already eliminated, so I think he's just lucky to be there. But Eliza is interested in him. You know, he was on her list, her short list of just him and Rodney, and she decided to go on the date. They really went pretty well. They ended up kissing. When Justin came back, he said it went like really well to Andrew and Michael A. However, things are now getting a little shaky between Rodney and Eliza, because when they were able to talk and kind of regroup after the date, Eliza still kind of felt slighted by Rodney and was still not understanding why he didn't fight hard enough for her to not go on the date. In Rodney's defense, he wanted her to experience, you know, the date and, you know, explore her options if that's what she wanted to do. He kind of left it open for her, but she really just wanted more. So as soon as she got back from the date, it was almost like they were having the same conversation they had before they left, which is really hitting a crossroads in their relationship. And now I don't really think it's going anywhere. I think that Eliza is going to ultimately end up choosing Justin. But what's interesting is that Justin and Rodney are also friends, so it's definitely awkward that they're dating the same girl. So Justin pulled Rodney aside to have a conversation, and Rodney definitely was respectful and, you know, was open to hearing Justin out. They obviously have this friendship that I just mentioned, but Rodney still said that the damage was done. So I don't really know if he's going to be, you know, super chummy with Justin in the future. There's going to be a rose ceremony next week where Eliza will finally give her rose out to one of the two, and I think it's going to be Justin, especially because she ended up making out with Justin right after the Rodney conversation, and Rodney and Eliza kind of hit this stump in the road. I really don't know if there's any turning back for them. You know, Rodney's so genuine. He's such a nice guy. And I don't want to say like nice guys finish last, but I think that at this point, you know, he fought for Eliza after the date, which I think she really wanted before. And Eliza was just a little messy. I felt like she was kind of playing games. You know, Rodney was so genuine fighting for her, and it almost felt like she was being a little bit like, you know, just a little sassy, when it was supposed to be a really intimate and, you know, heartfelt conversation. So we'll see what happens with that next week. We also had some new arrivals on the beach this week, including the twins, Justin and Joey and Hayden. So the twins, they got a lot of flack for only being 24 years old. Michael A was like, I could have been their father. A lot of other people were like giving them a hard time for it, and no one really knew the difference between Justin or Joey, and I still don't know the difference, especially because they're dressing them in the same outfits, which is funny. But next time they need to find older twins, because it's clear that the twins are just not going to make it very far on the beach. They ended up taking Shanae and Florence out on the date, and they got wrapped up in tacos, which is literally disgusting. Like, I would never ever let someone make me into a human taco. Like, I think that's just so gross, but I guess it's a Bachelor in Paradise and it's a show. It's supposed to be funny, but it was just really uncomfortable to watch, and I don't really think the connections went anywhere, but we did see a couple kisses between the twins and the ladies. Another arrival was Hayden, as I mentioned, and he got a lot of heat last season, so people were definitely bringing it up again as soon as he got to the beach, especially his over amount of love he has for his dog Rambo, who is still doing okay. And some of Hayden's comments from last season definitely got brought into play when he decided to take Kate on a one-on-one date, and Hayden was describing to Kate some of the drama that happened on his season, and this is where Kate ended up backtracking and feeling regretful that she ended up going on the date. And Hayden kind of even doubled down when he said that he wasn't even entirely sure that Gabby and Rachel were truly looking for love on their season. So I don't really know, but it seems like Kate isn't really interested in Hayden anymore. But when she got back to the beach, she had to have this conversation with Logan, who also did not fight for Kate to not go on the date. It was kind of a similar situation with Rodney and Eliza, where Kate really wanted Logan to be like, don't go on the date. But Logan was like, well, you should go, you should experience things. And I think that's fair because, Logan and Kate aren't super solid. They just really met. And at this point, like, they're not going to get engaged. We kind of know that. So let Kate have a good time and explore her options. She was a later arrival, but they definitely got into a place of, I'm not sure if this is going to work between Kate and Logan, so we'll see what happens next week. There's only a matter of time before the couples start breaking up, especially the ones who aren't super serious. We know Michael and Danielle are really solid. Brandon and Serena are solid. Tyler and Brittany seem to be getting along, but we don't really know how solid they are, if it's actually going to lead into an engagement, as well as Andrew and Jasenia, who were a later couple. Victoria and Johnny are definitely one to watch. They've had a journey throughout the season, so we'll see what happens with them. Shanae and Jacob are still going strong, and of course we have Alex floating around, Florence floating around, and the twins. Sarah also left the beach this week because her grandma passed away. So we're really getting down to the wire here. I think there's going to be a few more girls introduced next week, and then those are probably going to be the last arrivals. Now, the biggest fight of the night was actually between Aaron and Genevieve, and this fight was dramatic. Wow, we have got to talk about it. So Genevieve really wanted quality time with Aaron. She wanted to share her feelings of falling in love with him. However, Aaron wanted to spend some time with the bros, and I don't think he was being as attentive to her as she would have liked that day. So when she expressed her feelings of feeling neglected, Aaron felt like she was being super needy and kind of turned it around on her and being like, why are we the only people fighting? And the fight really started to escalate, where everyone started to walk away from them because it was happening in front of everybody on the daybed. And Genevieve got so upset, she walked away. She started packing her bags. Now, Genevieve is just ready to leave at this point because if it's not going to work out with Aaron, there's no reason for her to be there. And as she's packing her bags, her meltdown is only getting deeper and deeper. Her emotions are rising. Victoria F., I think, really stepped in and saved the day to try and calm Genevieve down and help her work through these emotions. And she ended up working through them. Her bags were packed, but she wanted to go talk to Aaron and tell him that she was going to leave. And Aaron was resistant to talking to her because I think he was still upset about the argument and just needed more time to process before revisiting it. But Genevieve got really insulted that he hesitated even talking to her. So then she stormed out and she's ready to go to the van. And then Aaron storms to the van and where like the driveway kind of is, which we've really never seen a scene go down like this. So I'm wondering the logistics of where the van is, where Genevieve is entering. Super interesting here from an outside perspective. I'm like, where is this in location to the rest of the beach? But they end up going back and forth for a while. They really are fighting a lot. And I think that they just are both really dramatic and emotional people. I think Victoria F. also made a good point where they're still learning about each other. So they're just kind of learning how to fight and communicate. It is a newer relationship, but it also kind of seems a little toxic, which is what a lot of Bachelor Twitter is saying online. So even though Aaron ended up convincing Genevieve to stay, they both shared that they were falling in love with each other, which was kind of cute. I don't really think it's gonna last, like, at all. It just seems like they are just speaking two different communication languages, and I just don't really know if there's much future for them. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below of the Aaron and Genevieve fight and all of these couples and the new arrivals. Who do you think is going to last as we get down to our final few weeks? Let us know, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell before you guys head out of here. I'm your host, Zachary Reality. Feel free to follow me on my socials at Zachary Reality on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye, everyone.